What's up, guys? Josh here. Today I wanted to talk about a rather different topic than I usually talk about on this channel. And it's something that is really going to help you from something that you would really not even think about, but you're going to be really interested to see, based on the title of this video, what that topic is. And this topic, we're just going to get right into this thing. This topic is 5 different ways you can prevent your car from getting hacked. So basically, like cars were computers ever since like the 80s and 90s. Just going to be more based off of computers. Like, tires are probably going to be computers and other things that you might not think of. Probably not, like a tire or anything like that sort, but you get what I mean. Like cars are basically going to be more and more of a computer, as time goes on. They already aren't, but you get the point. So, a car is basically a computer on wheels, and it's not going to stop hackers from trying to make your life miserable, using a car. Because, like, what better way for them to ruin your day by interfering with your vehicle and just ultimately making your life very miserable, making you like late for work or wherever you're going to, or not being able to go anywhere because there's something wrong with a car, all because a criminal gained access to your car based off of, some ways that I'm going to talk about, things that they could do to your car in order to hack it. Like things the car would do after it got hacked. So I'm going to talk about, several ways that your car can get hacked. For example, one of them is disabling brakes. Now, microprocessors in the car give the brakes power. And, if you lose that power, you're really going to be, struggling to get the car to a stop. And, you might just, very likely, hit someone or someone else, and that's not going to be a good day for you or the victim. And imagine just, driving down the road, be like, what happened to my brake? So that's an example of your brakes not working, and now you get what I'm talking about. It would just be like, the old days where you'd have to step more onto the brake because power steering and brakes and things like that didn't exist back in 40s, 50s, and 60s and so on and so forth. But today they do. So second one is force acceleration. Hackers would figure out a way to, for example, use your power locks in order to make your car accelerate. You can imagine just you're locking the door, and imagine, man, you just go for the lock and in reality that would not be funny and fun in any way. So that is something to really take into consideration. So manipulating vehicle diagnostics, basically they can, tamper with the codes in your car from the car's computer onto whatever device they use and throw on codes like a check engine light, which would be really stressful to see a check engine light on for hours and hours on end and nothing really wrong, and be really frustrating to go to a shop or a dealer and they check your car and they see the check engine light on and they tell you nothing's wrong with the car. You're going to think that what's going on with the car. So could also maybe throw on low tire pressure. You would think that your tire pressure's low, and turns out it's really not. That would be really really weird. You'd be like, why is the vehicle acting up all of a sudden? So that's something to keep in mind as well. So if you see that, your car is most likely hacked. And one of the other things is hackers can change the time, the song, or the GPS destination. Imagine, it's 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning. All of a sudden, your car goes from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to throw you off and be like, why was it just 10 o'clock and it was just 1 o'clock? Like, wow, time flies by pretty fast. And that'd be really strange. You feel like you're like a time traveler, but not in a good way. Changing a song, hey man, what is this, man? I was listening to that new, that new Taylor Swift song.
By the way, I don't listen to Taylor Swift. Just couldn't think of another songwriter or artist at the time.
And now you switch into some old jazzy classical music. Ugh. It's another funny example of how a song could change from something like that from happening. But also the GPS destination is Like, let's say, like, you're going to, I don't know, you're going down from, like, New Jersey or Massachusetts or wherever to Florida. And you go down, just kind of, like, just driving along. And why am I all the way in the middle of Kentucky? I'm supposed to be going to Florida, not middle of nowhere, Kentucky. So, those are just some, like, funny skit examples of how things like that would play out if it happened to you. But in reality, it would be, just horrible. Hope, it doesn't happen to any of you out there, and hopefully it doesn't. And very importantly, the worst thing they could do with this is gain access through your phone. Imagine you're just driving down the road and, all of a sudden, without you knowing, someone has now your credit card information and other personal information like your social security number and, other jazz like that. Just everything. Like, they know everything about you, and that would really, really suck. So they'd, be able to get all your financial data, which, man, that'd be really, that's probably how, like, sometimes, like, people get hacked, besides, like, people's information being exposed in, places like dark web and things like that. But that's something to really keep in mind. So use that two-step verification to your advantage. I know it might be annoying to, reach out for a code, a text or email or call, but, it has probably saved your life so many times that it's worth, every message for a code. And so now we're going to get into the 5 ways that you can prevent your car from getting hacked. Starting off with number 1, you can keep in contact with the car manufacturer. For example, if you got a Honda, keep in contact with Honda. So this way, they have all the up-to-date information about your software and put all your information like on a safe and secure account with them, so they can maybe see like your email or whatever, and they can let you know about important updates and maybe recalls and things of that nature. So that is something to really keep in mind. Also, if there is a recall, you can check safecar.gov, which is a website where you can put in like a VIN number of your car. It'll come up, if there's a recall on it, and that's just something that's good to check periodically, because a lot of us have no idea when recalls come out. Just like, speaking of recalls, BMW had a recall on some of their cars and the Toyota Supra as well. So that's something to really keep in mind. You just want to keep updated on the car's well-being. It's kind of like going to it's like going for a checkup every year. You check up on yourself to make sure you're fine and healthy, and there you go. So take care of your car, truck, or whatever you got. And also, number 2, speaking of like the car manufacturer, updating your car's software. Now, like in a lot of cars today, you can update, simply by, just, I guess, whatever random time your car updates. And, you turn it on and it just sits for like 3 to 5 minutes or whatever. Or most of the time they're quicker, and it just, loads an update, and then boom, it's ready to do whatever you want it to do. And so if your manufacturer tells you that your car needs an update, it's suggested to bring your car to an authorized dealership ASAP. I guess so they can look at the software and see, if it's a legitimate update, which most of them are. It could possibly be a hacker trying to gain access to your car, and nobody wants that. So I guess next time you get an update, go to the dealership ASAP. But most updates are safe, but it's it's best to keep in mind that some may not be so safe. So you bring the car to the dealership to they could correct the bugs that would make the vehicle less vulnerable to hackers. And there is a way to get a secure update, and that is, if you're more so a do-it-yourself guy, I like to do most things myself as much as I possibly can. And yeah, so like simple stuff. And you should basically go on the website, download the update from a USB, take the USB to your car, plug it into your car, and let the vehicle update that way. I'm sure there's tutorials online or even on the manufacturer's website, instructions on like what to do, and it can tell you what to do, and you'll be well on your way. Now, number 3, you want to keep your key fob as secure as you possibly can. You basically want to take like a metal box or, some type of other enclosure to some type of other enclosure to, keep the key fob signals from expanding, because thieves can use devices to pick up your key fob's radio frequency, and they can unlock your car and basically go in and steal some. And you'll go in one morning and be like, "Where's my sunglasses, man?" Yeah, it was probably a hacker or somebody, that jabbed the key thing, that jabbed into the keyhole and figured out some way to, bust the door open and steal your personal belongings. So, older generations are going to be like, why don't you guys just stick with keys instead? Old-fashioned keys you turn to unlock the door or start the car. But maybe you'll really decrease the risk. Yeah, they got a point right there. Things were made a lot simpler back then. That I can agree with. So basically, like, if a key fob is up on the wall, like most of us do, unfortunately, a hacker could look at a device and see, oh, this guy's fob signals are coming in, and use that to do harm. So that's something to keep in mind. One of the things, you can even lock your car in a garage, and basically, if they see some lights on, they'll figure that like nobody's home. They don't know when you got that expensive Koenigsegg Gira in the driveway. Just funny, some type of thief just going by and thinking like maybe somebody's just home alone, but not knowing that there's a really nice expensive car in that garage. So that is where it is at. Number 4 is, it is suggested that you should turn off your Bluetooth while you're not using it. Basically, what they're saying is you leave an open invitation to hackers using that to their advantage to hack your car. So basically, if you're not talking to anybody on the phone using the Bluetooth, what you should do is turn off the Bluetooth and your phone. Because I was saying about your phone, they can gain all your information from your phone through Bluetooth, and that is just like mind-boggling. But hopefully companies will maybe realize that hackers are a big problem with cars. And yeah, so what this Bluetooth thing can do is it can cause a device to crash or expose security holes somewhere. Basically, the same way as your phone information being leaked, and that is ultimately a way for them to gain access. So you might want to turn off your Bluetooth when you're driving. So it goes to show that like you're never safe no matter what. No matter how hard you try to be safe, you are never 100% safe. So just keep that in mind. I'm one of those people that like, something can go down any given time. It's just something to keep in the back of your mind, but hopefully it won't. And now number 5, which this pertains to a lot of newer cars out there and things like that, and it's hiding your Wi-Fi password. Let's say you have something, like Ford Pass or OnStar, or whatever you use, and you use the internet through that, and hackers could find a way to, break through. They can break through and gain access to your password and, use all your data. Whether it's unlimited or not, you don't want them, stealing, your internet. Because who wants their internet stolen? Not me. I'm sure you don't either. Unless you don't care, but, myself and many other people will care, so. What they can do with the Wi-Fi is, let's say, your car's, they can use your car's Wi-Fi to, basically like the Wi-Fi, something, like Ford Pass, be for the internet that you use, and that allows you to lock and unlock your car's doors and start the engine, also known as remote start. They could basically, use that to, you could use that Wi-Fi signal to lock and unlock the car, same as with the key fob. But that goes to show, like, don't leave your Wi-Fi password in the glove box, which goes to show, like, don't leave your Wi-Fi password anywhere in your car you probably might want to take that code that is built into your car. You might want to take out that paper that has your default code. Probably wouldn't even matter at that point, but so anyway, with that, the best thing to do is just create a great password that you are going to remember and not anyone else is going to remember. But yeah, so those are the 5 ways that you could prevent your car from getting hacked. And these things are just pretty much like simple things you can do. Only really thing is like keeping the key fob probably in like a safe. Imagine, yo man, we gotta keep the key fob in a safe now. Somebody might get the radio frequency and hack it. What do you mean they're gonna hack it? What do you mean? Nobody can get in the car. Yeah, they can get in the car. I saw Turbo Speed Qualifiers video on how to prevent your car from getting hacked, and yeah, this is pretty dangerous. This is out. Open. Alright. Fine. Alright, so, that wraps it up. So let me know in the comments section, are you guys going to start doing these things, or, I don't know. So, I would say overall, it's very, very rare from what I see and hear that people's cars get hacked based off of this stuff, but it could happen from time to time. So, this is something to really keep in mind. Like, I would say, it's highly unlikely it's going to happen. I mean, there's a very low chance that it could happen, but you just never know. So, you might want to start taking this stuff into consideration to, like, drop it down to 0% chance that your car is going to get hacked. And, yeah, so it'd be a pain to, like, having to turn off your Bluetooth and what have you, but hopefully, none of you will ever be unlucky to ever get hacked, and I hope none of you ever are unlucky enough to have any of this happen to you. And with that, that concludes this video. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and turn on post notifications so you do not miss out on one of my videos. And along with that, I'll see you next time.